That could be a little distracting. Hi, welcome to According to Lou. I'm Lou, and this is part 2 of CBT 10. Part 2 of CBT 10. I did a video yesterday, but I wanted to go over how I use this common self-defeating attitude and fears. So I'm just going to share some of my experiences with it so that it can help you to identify some of the triggers that you have, because knowing your triggers is so important. 1. It would be terrible to be rejected, abandoned, or alone. I must have love and approval before I can feel good about myself. I don't have a problem with that. I'm very attached to the people in my life, but I don't need their approval. Something fell downstairs. Maybe it was my husband. I should probably go check. Like, the whole room shook. He's fine. I don't feel like I need people's approval, but I am very attached to the people that are in my life, so I don't know. That doesn't really apply. 2, if someone criticizes me, it means there's something wrong with me. I don't think personally that when people criticize me that there's something wrong with me. I just will feel bad about myself. Like, yeah, I guess I do kind of feel like there's something wrong with me. Because if I feel bad about myself, if somebody does criticize me, because it's not, I've come to realize that it's not my control, and it's not my problem how people now feel about me. But back a few years ago, it would probably affect me a little bit more. But since I've been doing CBT for quite a while, it's not so much of an issue. I don't really know how to explain that any other way. 3, I must always please people to live up to everyone else's expectations. That's not something that I have a problem with. I am basically defective and inferior to other people. Yes, I do feel that I'm really bad with a selfie stick. It's starting to hurt my hand. I do not feel that I'm as important as other people. Like, to me, other people have so much to offer society, where I feel like I don't really have that much to offer society. So me? Like, I always felt like I wasn't enough. Like, I should be doing more. I am getting better with that. But so that was an issue. 5, other people are to blame for my problems. No. I've never felt that other people were to blame for my problems. I know people that blame everyone else for their problems, but I have to own the problems that I've created for myself. And I'm very aware of where I went wrong now. I used to be really angry with myself constantly for maybe situations happen and I contributed to a problem. Whereas now I don't blame other people, because I've always been that way. It's never anyone else's fault, the choices that you make. So that's not a problem. 6, the world should always be the way I want it to be. No. I feel like this is a very unjust system that we're in, but I don't feel that the world should always be the way I want it to be. I'm not self-centered in that kind of way. I'm kind of self-centered, but not in that way. Other people should always meet my expectations. No. If I worry or feel bad about a situation, it will somehow make things better it's not really safe to feel happy or optimistic. I used to feel that, not feel, but I used to worry about every little thing, and I still do it. This is something that I really do struggle with, is not so much, I do worry about, like, doctor's visits. I worry about if I can perform at work to my own standards, not to my boss's standards, but to my standards. Like, am I doing enough for me? Like, that is one of the things that I do have a problem with, because I never feel like I'm enough for me. I don't know that that makes much sense, but it's something that I go through. And I don't really know where that stems from, like why I would feel that I'm not good enough for myself, for not even for other people, just for me. Like, I see so many successful people, and I'm successful in my own standards and my own, I feel like maybe my own belief system. I feel like I am doing my best. So that's all I can do right now. So that I have come a long way in that area. I am hopeless and bound to feel depressed forever because the problems in my life are impossible to solve. That is something that I used to do too. I used to feel like the issues in my life were more of my thought process, where it would loop in a negative. So it wasn't situations that would occur. It was about the way I viewed them. So that situation wasn't a problem, but the way I viewed it would loop in a very negative. And I had to stop doing that. And I still, nobody's perfect. And even if you do get really good with this, you're still going to have a problem sometimes, because we are human. And sometimes, like even where it says you worry, if I worry or feel bad about, this was number 8, situation, it will sometimes make things better. Now, sometimes worrying about something is very valid, depending on the situation. And that's where CBT comes in handy, is where you can almost pick through the worry and find out what is realistic and what is not. So I've come a long way in that, where I can see that if I can't change it, there's no point in worrying. Although we still worry. I'm working on it. I'm doing my best. So 10, I must always try to be perfect. So this is the section of all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different perfectionisms. I've never been a perfectionist. I've always had high moral standards that I felt like I couldn't live up to. And in fact, I failed myself many, 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 many times. So that would decrease the amount of self-confidence and my self-esteem, because I must be a bad person for doing said thing. Now, with these perfectionisms, the relationship perfectionists, emotional perfectionisms, you must always be happy. I was, a lot of my life, I was kind of depressed. Wasn't anyone else's issue. It was a chemical imbalance in my brain. So it's not like upbringing did it. It's not someone else's fault. It was just something I needed to deal with the doctor. That's all. Identity, perfectionism. People will never accept me for my flaws. I really don't care if people don't accept me for my flaws. I feel like if they don't want to, then that's up to them. I've never needed friends. I didn't carry out long relationships other than like 2 people in my life. I don't feel that I need that. I do rely on family a lot for the love that I do get. And it's a lot. I can't handle any more love. Stop loving me so much. So that was my experiences with this. It's not a checklist, but with this list. So I gotta go because I'm almost at 10 minutes. But I hope this helped you see, like, everybody has something in here. Don't lie to yourself. I gotta go. Only according to Lou.